Let me ask you a real question. If you stop paying for leads today, how long would your business survive? For a lot of agents, the answer is not too long. And I'm not saying this to come from a place of judgment. I'm saying this from a place of understanding because I've been there. I know what it's like. When your whole pipeline depends on a credit card on file with the company, then guess what? You don't really own your business. You are renting your business.
Damn.
Every time the market shifts, every time your budget gets tight, the quality of the leads is not so great, you start to panic. You start to consider and think about, oh my goodness, what is my budget like this month?
No.
What am I doing? If I stop paying, do the opportunities stop coming? That's a real question.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with using paid leads as a tool. But if that's the only way that you know how to generate business, then you will never be free to own your business. Show you different ways for lead generation.
What?
In this episode, we want to share with you and show you a different way for lead generation. One that starts with your relationships, your community, your values, but not the credit card. My brother Pedro, like always, is going to come to you with a mindset of reframing. I'm looking at it from a tactical operational standpoint. Two sides of a coin. When those two sides come together, that's where the value is. Let's get into it.
Let's do it.
Number one, you do not control the flow of business leads. Number two, the cost per leads keep increasing. They're creeping up and up, higher and higher. They require long-term follow-up, airtight systems that are constantly being upgraded, constantly being renewed. Number three, and arguably the most important to me, most real estate agents, myself included for a time, are not built to handle cold internet leads. What do I mean by that? Number four, you're building a muscle for reacting, not the muscle for creation. Paid leads are not evil by any stretch of the imagination, but if it's your only source of business, you're building your business, you're building your brand on land that you're renting, not owning.
That was really deep what my brother Rick just said. And it resonates with me because I remember at one point in my career, I was consistently surviving out of paid leads. And there was nothing wrong with that. But the issue was that I made it my only source of leads.
Yes.
While I was doing well, I kind of felt anxious a lot of times because I was always thinking of what if this batch of leads does not do well? What happens? Where do I get the next one?
Right.
Do I have to keep paying more and more and more? And hopefully the next month will be better, will be a better batch. But what if it's not? So that anxiety never really leaves. But you know, the moment that it really hit me is when I asked myself a simple question is, what happens if this lead source goes away? Where will I eat? Where will I eat from? Where will I get my next batch of leads from? And that's when it started clicking for me. And I didn't like the answer, to be honest with you. So that pushed me to really start honing in and focusing on my sphere of influence, and really start looking at what I already have. The real estate that already exists within my community, within my phone, within the people, the community that I've built throughout the years.
Right.
And a lot of people miss that. So I started focusing on that more than ever. And then that's when my business started to feel less like gambling and more like planting seeds. It was not overnight, but it was steady for sure. And it started growing and growing. And I started to adopt that mindset that everywhere I went, I was out there to plant seeds. I wasn't out there to just have meaningless conversations. I was out there with an intent that from now on, I was going to grow another source of leads, another source of business, rather than only putting all my eggs in one basket, which was paid leads.
I absolutely love the analogy of planting seeds and being intentional in our conversations. And it's worth mentioning again, because a lot of times we check boxes. Oh, I tried to call somebody, or I sent a text message, I sent the mass email, whatever those things are. But without meaningful intent, actions can't be meaningful. So I love the seed analogy, by the way. We're talking about building a relationship-based lead generation engine. So where does that come from?
Good question.
Your sphere of influence, past clients, referrals, social media references, open houses, and community events. Operationally, that looks like your phone, mixers that are already ongoing, hosting your own in your own communities, being very, very focused on one subdivision and being the brand in that area.
Farming.
100%. What we're talking about overall, that overarching idea is that You're initiating the conversations instead of sitting back and waiting for some random platform to give you a point of connection. You're staying in contact with people that already know you and that have been in contact with you in the past. You're visible in your local markets, whether that's online or in person, as a person that educates, supports, and is present for the people around you. And what's even better, from a number standpoint, from a tactical standpoint, your ROI from this kind of lead generation is almost always better than the paid, because the cost isn't about money anymore. It's about consistency.
100%.
You trade ad spend for intentional touches. And there's a really cool part about all of this is once the engine's built, it compounds on its own. It almost starts to feed and manage itself.
Yes.
All you have to do in that moment is to be consistent in your intention.
I love that. Trading ad spend for consistency. But there's some mind shift that has to happen in order for that to work. A lot of us see ourselves as hunters. I'm chasing leads, I'm closing deals, I'm trying to capture people's attention. But when you see yourself that way, it always feels like a grind that never ends. When I started to see myself more as a helper rather than a hunter, things really started to happen. But it had to be here. I had to really shift that in my head. I'm not out there hunting. I'm out there helping.
I like that.
So instead of me making phone calls to people thinking that maybe I was going to bother them, I would think, I'm only calling because I have something that will be of help to them and I want to share it with them. So why would I not give them a call?
So that barrier went away.
100%. And that made the conversations feel a lot lighter every time. So instead of saying, how do I convince this person to work with me? I started saying, how do I get to help this person, even if they're not ready to move in the next 6 months or even a year? How could I be of service to them? And your energy really changes when you start to see yourself in that, because people don't see and they don't feel that you just want a deal. They feel and truly understand that you just want to help them, that you're coming from a place of service, not a place of, we call it cologne, commission cologne, right? People can smell it.
Yeah, it's not good.
It's not a good one. And a lot of us don't think that people can tell, but I promise you they can. So free lead generation is really just about staying in touch with people, staying in contact and at top of mind of people so that when they need help, they know they can count on you and they know that you're there to be of service. But you have to be at top of mind. And that is the thing that a lot of agents don't do enough. Maybe they stay at top of mind for a month. But what happens in real estate, we know that most people will close inside of a year. And a lot of times it's going to take 90, 100 days before you start seeing anything.
Right.
So imagine what happens if you don't stay at top of mind for the next 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months. Someone else is going to come and take it. There goes your SOI, right? So that's how you build your sphere, my friend.
So let's put a simple system behind all of that. So it's not just an idea that we're talking about, right? I like to break free lead generation down to the 3 basic pillars.
Okay.
Makes it easy for everybody. Pillar 1 is always going to be your sphere of influence and past clients. So people that you've already helped and people that you know. Whether you're brand new in real estate or not, you have a sphere. Even if it's 100 people, those 100 people know at least another 20 people. So now we're already talking about 2,000 people. And a lot of times we don't think about it that way. Right? Because we say brand new in real estate, we're like, we don't know enough people.
Right.
We don't know people, but we do. We do. So number 2 is social presence. Whether that's a faceless social media campaign or that's you in person, sharing who you are and trying to be of service to someone. And I would tell you, honestly, that was always, when I was getting started, that was always one of my challenges, is to get in front of that camera.
It is for a lot of people.
It truly is. So whether you're uncomfortable, you're shy, you're insecure, you've never done it before, you want to, it all centers around trying to be perfect. We're going to put this perfect product out every single time. And the reality of it is none of us are perfect. No matter what we're doing, we're going to make mistakes. We're going to stumble in our words. There's going to be a wrinkle in the shirt. There's always going to be something, but those are those imperfections are what makes you human and what makes you relatable. Okay. So don't shy away from those things.
And remember, my little basic video will always outperform the one you don't do.
I'm going to say that shit again. Excuse me. Say it again.
My basic video will always outperform the one that you don't do.
I love that. And he's not wrong. He's not wrong. So pillar number 3 is going to be in-person opportunities. What do we mean by in-person opportunities? So that's community events. That's open houses. And one of the things that I push my team to do is where you should be hosting an open house every single weekend that you're not showing homes. Period. Give yourself the opportunity to be successful. And then invite the people that you know out to coffee. Have a conversation. Don't solicit the business, just connect. Show up to be of service. Show up to add value to that person's process and to solve problems. That's it. That's all we want to do. One of the things I'm really big on, if you're watching these videos every week, is tracking our business. So you should be tracking the work that you do. Everything is trackable, right? So in this particular one, we're talking about free lead generation. So there's 3 KPIs that we should be focused on. Conversations, appointments set, referrals asked for. Why? That last one is big. How many times have you had a conversation, whether you set a second appointment, whether you got under contract with them, whether you never spoke to them again, whether 6 months later they actually bought that property? How many times did you forget to ask for the referral? For the review? Build your business every opportunity you get. So we've all heard that phrase, jack of all trades, master of none, right? You do not need to have 10 plus lead generations platforms in order to be successful. Focus fire on 2 to 3 and become a master at what you do.
Yes.
Lean into your strengths. I promise you'll find consistency.
You know, what Rick just said is huge because it's really not about having 100 ways of getting leads. It's about really focusing on the ones that you're good at and the ones that you know that you can master and take them to the next level. And gradually you can start adding more. But why try to go learn 3, 4, 5 new things when you're already good at 2, 3, 4 and just really focus on those?
Yes.
And maximize. And you know, Rick, the part that really trips a lot of agents is not strategy. It's just the fear of having more conversations. Really.
Oh no.
Strategy, I can give you 100 strategies right now. But at the end of the day, the thing that's going to stop most agents is the fear inside. They know what they want to say. They've already role played. They've already practiced. They just are afraid to have a conversation or pick up the phone.
That's crazy. All that work not to be able to cross the finish line.
And I understand why, right? But now that we know that that's the problem, we need to address it. And that's because we get in our heads. You know, I don't want to be salesy. I don't want to bother people. Once again, you're thinking of it wrong. You should be reaching out to people because you want to help them, because you have something of value that you want to offer to them. And a lot of times when we feel that we're going to be a bother, is because truly inside, deep inside, we really don't feel that what we were trying to show to them is valuable. So find that thing that's valuable so that you don't second guess it and you can pick up the phone and share the good news about the value you found for them.
I love that point. I really, really love that point because sometimes, you know, it's back to that checkbox, right? So we check the box, we called, we text, we sent an email, right? But if it's not adding value to their process or you're not solving a problem that they've articulated to you, then is it true follow-up?
A follow-up is not just, hey, I'm just following up. With what? About what? What is this? What's so good that you have to share with me? Find something. So I want you to think about this every time. You're not reaching out to take something from them. You're reaching out to give clarity, support, options, and value. And you know, for me, a lot of times, it may not be for you, but for me, there were times that I literally had to grab my phone and say, God, please let me help this person that I'm about to call. I want to be of service to them. I want them to know that I'm truly here to service them, to be of help. Please help me show up for them without any attachment. And I know that's hard for a lot of people in real estate. Very hard. And when you approach lead generation that way, it stops feeling like chasing and it starts to feel more like stewardship. You're just taking care of relationships that God put in your path.
You're not wrong.
How do you take care of them? God, you put them here. Now I want to service them. I'm not just chasing a check. I really want to help them. But you got to really shift the mindset.
You know, some of the best producers I know in real estate, there's a few common threads amongst all of them. Male, female, young, old, whatever. And one of them is what you just said, is stewardship.
Yep.
Stewardship of the relationship, stewardship of the trust, stewardship of the faith in God that you're where you're supposed to be, doing what you're supposed to be doing across from the person that you're having that conversation with. I love that, man.
And you want to know one little quick thing that's about stewardship, and you could even verify it in the Bible. Not only are you supposed to take care of what God gave you, which is that person, but you're supposed to maximize it. It's not just one. What can you do to help more than just one out of that one person that God sent you? That's stewardship.
That's lovely. I love that, man. Multiplying our blessings.
And you know, the beauty behind all this is that the more you start helping people, the more you start really embracing life this way, you're going to start seeing business come your way in many ways that you never even thought possible. Because the thing is, the same way bad commentary and bad opinions about people spreads fast, same thing happens with good people.
Yeah. You know, I wake up in the morning and one of my prayers when I start my day is God, I don't know what opportunities you're going to put in my life. I don't know what opportunities you're going to put in my path today, but I trust you. And I'm open-minded and I'm willing to show up for each of them. Because one of the things I say every morning when I do my prayers, man, so I love that kind of aligns with and with all of that.
That's full surrender. And if you don't know, then put it to the test and see what happens. But give it all you have and really embrace that mindset and that heart. It's not just mindset, it's really a heart. It's a change of heart. Open your heart so that you can help people.
Let's land the plane on the tactical side of this conversation. So if you want to start generating leads without paying for them, let's talk about what that roadmap looks like really quickly. First thing is first, clean up your sphere. We all have a sphere. Whether it's 10 people on your phone, 100 people on your phone, or 1,000. Take the time, intentionally set aside the time to go through your sphere of influence, clean up all of them, meaning put those people into your CRM. Put tags that are relevant to that point of contact in your CRM at the same time. Clean up your sphere. That's the first thing that we do. The second thing, like Pedro was talking about earlier, is we're committing to having the conversations. I will tell you that I challenge you to be brave. So my son Roman is 10. Anybody that knows me knows that I'm a father. And I'm very family focused. One of the things I tell Roman all the time is that being bravery is not the absence of fear. It's in spite of fear. So you're not going to wake up today and magically not be afraid to pick up the phone and have a conversation. You're not going to magically show up today and jump in front of a camera and just do 10 videos all at one time. You're not. That's not how it works. But courage comes in the face of fear. So I challenge you to be courageous. Okay. The third step is show up online. Hate it, love it, like it, don't like it, whatever your personal opinion is. And you correct me if I'm wrong. Our business, our culture, our industry, our lives are all online. You have to go where your buyers, your sellers, your clients are. Speed to the lead is the same thing as saying show up where your buyers are. Show up where your listing, your sellers are, right?
And now more than ever, I'm glad you said that. It's always been tough for a lot of people, but now more than ever, it's faster and easier because you have so many AI tools that can help you. So a lot of times, it's just a matter of you not wanting to do it, period, because there's so many things you can do. I know people that generate leads without ever putting their face on the camera. I know people that reach out to many people through social media without ever sending videos. There's so many things you can do.
Yeah. So when we're talking about AI, we're going to have a whole other conversation. There's going to be another video on AI. But I'm telling you right now, people are afraid of AI because they're saying it's going to replace their jobs. Well, I would challenge that with saying the only people that have anything to fear with AI is the ones that aren't using it. Period. 100%. Period. Because you're going to get so outpaced by the people that are. You're going to be left behind, not because of a lack of effort and energy and hustle. It's just because of the tools that you're not using that speeds up this process for all of us, right? So if you don't know what it is, we're going to have a video on that coming up in the next series, a couple of series, but do your due diligence right now. Start doing the research right now. Last step, be findable in real life. Be findable in real life. Go to your community events. Introduce yourself at the open houses. Go to these mixers. Go out there and share who you are. Share your service, your passion, your heart for what you're doing. Be findable in real life. That's what that means. It's not magic. It's math plus consistency plus the mindset that my brother Pedro has been talking about this whole video. That's the key to free lead generation. And my commitment to you, if you just stay committed, you can build a business that is not dependent on the platform that you're paying for.
So now you've heard both sides, the mechanics and the mindset. What I want you to do now, if you're watching, I want you to drop a comment, the word free. We're gonna send you a little guide with all these different notes that we covered, all these different takeaways in this video, and also give you some tools and systems that we highly recommend so that you can start generating your own business. But at the end of the day, my friend, you cannot take lead generation as a hobby. It has to become one of the most important things that you do on a daily basis if you ever want to build a business and stop being the business. Because what happens when you are the business, the moment you don't show up, your business crumbles. And we don't want that. We want you to build a business that runs so that you're never stressed out about where the next check is coming from and who is the next person that God put in my life so that I could help maximize and provide value to my community. I hope you like this video. God bless.
God bless.